Guys, it's Jeremy here, Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. We're for today, guys, is the next installment of my ranking the albums of the big four of Thrash. We're up to the 10th studio albums. We're almost done the series, because like I said on the previous video, Metallica and Anthrax only have 11 studio albums, so the next video will kind of be the last one. So this is the 10th studio album of each band. I've been really enjoying this during the series, kind of seeing the development of the bands and the evolution. And the last 2 weeks, last two episodes are probably the weakest in the catalog so far. Clearly, the first four albums of each band was the strongest. But there is some good material later in the band's career, and this one was actually considerably better than the last two episodes, in my opinion. Not so hard to rank still, because I still have my favorites among the four, but definitely a little bit stronger material than the last couple episodes. And let's jump right in, guys. At number 4, I went with The System Has Failed by Megadeth. Again, just kind of a mediocre Megadeth album for me. I was never a big Megadeth fan in general. I like a handful of their early albums and a couple later ones. But in general, Megadeth, for some reason, is a band I never went back to a lot. And this album specifically is another one of them I really don't go back to. It does have some decent stuff on here, though. Blackmail the Universe of Mice and Men is a decent song. The Scorpion was good. Kick the Chair. It had some okay tunes on here, but like I said, in my opinion, just more of a mediocre Megadeth album. But not bad by any means, but not great. Number 3, I went with Slayer's Christ Illusion. A lot of people might have this a lot higher because they're maybe not as fans of the other albums as much. But I do really like this album. I think it is an underrated album in Slayer's catalog. For their later material, it is one of their better ones, in my opinion. But again, compared to the other two albums ahead of it, this is just one I don't go back to quite as much. But it does have some great songs in here. Jihad is really good. Cult, Eyes of the Insane, Skeleton Christ is good. Catalyst. There is some really strong songs in here. Like I said, in my opinion, definitely an underrated album in their catalog. But not one I quite go back to as much as the other two albums ahead of it. That's why it's at number 3. Number 2, making a higher ranking position in a long time is Anthrax with Worship Music. This is the first album back with Joey Belladonna on vocals after John Bush was on like 3 or 4 albums. And for me, the latter period Anthrax, it's this one and the last album they put out after this one that are, I think, Return of All Kings. Those are the only 2 albums from Anthrax I really enjoy that are from the latter period. I find the earlier stuff, anything before that and kind of after Among the Living, I found kind of just went kind of silly, and they weren't just straight up thrash anymore. They had a weird, different sound to them. But I found on this album, they really went back to form, to their old school sound, and just went back to being a straight up balls out thrash band with Joey behind the helm and the vocals again. And I was kind of got back into the band with this album, and I really enjoyed this a lot. So it's number 2 for me. Standout tracks. Earth on Hell is really good. I'm Alive. The Devil You Know is a really banger, really good song. The Giant is good. Crawl's good. Just a lot of good songs. In the End is another banger. Like I said, top to bottom, just a really good thrash album. It is a fairly long album at 65 minutes in length, but a really solid album nonetheless. And nice to see Anthrax a little bit higher in the rating for once. They finally got back to form, in my opinion, with their last 2 albums. They're definitely due for another album. It's been quite a number of years now, but really enjoyed this album, Worship. Really good stuff. And number 1, that leaves Metallica. I know for a lot of people this wouldn't be number 1, but I really dug this album. It's kind of a return to form in a lot of ways. It's got some rippers on here. It's kind of a blend of like all their different eras, in my opinion. I hear some like Lightning and Master of Puppets era stuff on here. I hear some Black Label stuff. I do hear some Load and Reload style songs in here, more hard rock. But I really dug it. I thought it was a good representation of their whole kind of evolution. Still heavy, still thrashy, great riffs still from the guys. Really memorable songs. It was a double CD. Standard tracks for me, the title track was a good riffer. Atlas Rise was really good. Moth into Flame I enjoyed. Halo on Fire was a cool 8-minute song. Really, really melodic and really memorable and catchy. I thought it was a little bit more front-loaded in my opinion overall. I think the first disc was a lot stronger than the second one overall, with the exception of Spit Out the Bone. The last track was just that's a thraster piece in my opinion. I love that track. Spit Out the Bone is so aggressive. I wish Metallica could just put in a whole album that had songs like that on it. They would be killer. So that one really surprised me the first time I heard it. I'm like, yes, this is just killing. But yeah, so standard tracks for me: Spit Out the Bone, Hardwired, Atlas Rise, Moth into Flame. But the other tracks, Halo on Fire was really good as well. But the other tracks are really strong as well. Murder One, that's the one about Lemmy. Man Unkind, Confusion, Here Comes Revenge, Dream No More. Just some really cool stuff. Dream No More had kind of a different vibe to it. Really enjoyed this album. Like, I'm not sure why let people kind of dog on it still. It's not like they're old albums. I'm not going to say like that, but I think there's a lot of really enjoyable material on here. And for me, it was a really pleasant surprise to see the quality of the material. So let me know down below, guys, how you would rank the 10 studio albums of the Big Four. And we'll do the 11 studio albums coming up probably the next week or so to wrap up the series. And maybe I'll come up with a similar one. Maybe like comparing the top four Teutonic thrash bands or something like that. I'll work out start a new series with the different bands. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, let me know down below in the comments how you would rank the bands, and keep it metal.